Hey now, friends, it's me, Lola, with the Smoking Prophet. If you don't know what the Smoking Prophet is, it's a life event. Can I talk today? If you don't know what the Smoking Prophet is, it's a life advice brand designed to resource you spiritually, creatively, and socially. Our goal is to give you what it takes, others years to get. And we do that through a blog and also through a podcast. So today I'm coming on with a super spontaneous love talk. Yes, that's right. So I generally talk about other stuff, like I have a real thing for life advice and helping people do life better. Have a real thing for like content. I love that and all of those talks. But then like sometimes I want to share like stories from my personal experiences and like talk about it. And that's what I'm going to do today. So as you're coming in, do me a favor, let me know that you can see me, let me know that you can hear me. Also, I'm using a streaming service I used to use a while ago, and I decided to use it again today because I wanted to multi stream and share this on multiple platforms at once. So it may not show me your name. So if I don't shout you out and talk to you by name like I normally do, that's why, and that's what's happening. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Today's topic is looks matters, but this matters more. So I know you're probably thinking, what is the this that matters more? And I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you that after I tell you my love story. For those of you all that have been following me, you know that I was married before I married my husband now. I got married way long time ago when I was young, and I had three children. So I had three children with my ex-husband, and I was single solo for a super long time. Between then, I dated someone very seriously, and we were together for a good little minute. We were actually together when I was still legally married. So it was quite interesting. After my first marriage, I did not want to marry again. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to get married again. I just would prefer to probably just be single for the rest of my life. And if I did get married, I said to myself that I wouldn't want like a legal commitment. I would want more of just like a ceremony to acknowledge like our marriage, but none of the legal stuff. So fast forward to several years later, me being okay with being single, me being okay with managing my life on my own and taking care of things by myself. I was super good and content with that. I met this guy. And when I met this guy, we met under the premise of friends. But someone told me later on that guys really don't meet girls to be their friends. And I really thought that they did. Maybe my husband could fill me in on that, but I thought that they did. Hey, babe, Dante, Dante, are you looking? Because I see is how is the service? Because I see people going in and coming out, and I can't see comments. So can you tell me what's happening?
Yes, I can see you clearly. I can hear you clearly. I'm not having a problem with my service.
Okay, because I can't see not nothing. Interesting. Which sucks. I need to be able to interact. So I'm wondering, do I want to just jump off? Hey, if you're on here and you can see me and hear me clearly, do me a favor, drop a comment. I need to see a comment before I go further. If I'm not getting comments through here, then what I'm going to do is close out the feed and I'm just going to do a live stream through one platform. So I see you. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. Okay, okay, okay. So I see an evangelist, Jeanette. So I got you. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So it's okay. Shamil, got you. Okay. Listen, Shamil, I want to see you in one of our classes and stuff coming back up. And I want to hear what's going on with your entrepreneurial endeavors. I want to update on that. So drop me a message in Messenger and let me know. I don't check Messenger like that. I don't like to check it because I can't keep it as organized as I can with the inbox. So, but drop me a message in there and I'll be looking for your message because I do want to hear how things are going for you. Dante, one of our amazing, I don't even want to call them student, I guess I'll call student leader entrepreneurs from our class, Basics of Biz, Shamil Latrice McClendon is on here. She said, good morning, Lola and Dante. Okay, Monica says, hey, okay, good. Okay, so it's working. Good. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, I'm not about to be on here talking. And I want you all to interact with me, and I can't see any interaction, so I appreciate you doing that. So let's go ahead and get back into it. I'm Lola, and today I want to talk to you about looks matter, but this matters more. Before I get into that, I want to actually tell you my love history, my dating history, and all of that. So I got married when I was really young. A lot of you all that have been following me, you know that I got married when I was really young. Me and my ex-husband had 3 children, and their stair steps back to back. And after that was over, I was like, I don't think I want to do this again. I don't think I want to do it again. I was like, I think I'm okay. I'm okay. And I said that if I did anything at all, I would have like just a ceremony. I didn't want to go through with the legal commitment and all of that. So fast forward to several years later, I dated someone else in between then that was pretty serious. I actually had a dream about me and this guy. And in the dream, and this was towards the end of our relationship. In the dream, I was floating on so high up in the air. I was floating so high up in the air. And I was touching the clouds in my dream. And the clouds, like I could feel them. They were very cool. I could feel the moisture and all of that in the clouds. And when I woke up, I just felt like, okay, this is as high as this relationship can go. And that's the end of that. So me and that guy, we were very serious. And, you know, we talked about marriage and all of that stuff, but I couldn't legally get married to him, even if I wanted to, which at that point I didn't want to, because I was still legally married to my ex-husband. So I ended up getting divorced. That was a great day. I cut a cartwheel, and no disrespect to him, but it was just a great day. It was like the end of a chapter. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, right? It was the end of a chapter, and I was moving on into the next thing. So I was solo dolo for a long time, was content with that. And I ended up meeting this guy, and me and the guy met, and it was like, okay, we're meeting and we like talking to each other as friends. So let's talk to each other. Like, it's not going to hurt. Like, I got girls that I talk to. I can talk to a guy too. I'm good with that. Grace and peace, Brenda G. I was like, let's do that. That's cool. And then all of a sudden one day we were on FaceTime together, and the way we looked at each other was not like friend look. It was like, you know, that gaze that you give somebody when you realize, wait a minute, what is happening here? Has Cupid come into the room? Did he just shoot me? I think I just got shot. Like, it was like all of that. So we looked at each other like that, and I'm like, wait a daggone minute, what is happening here? Do we like each other? And so we did like each other, and it was cool, and it was refreshing, and it was amazing. And then I learned that day that when guys are telling you they want to be your friends, even though they may say that, guys are lying. They're lying. They don't want to be your friends. They are coming in to see, like, this girl, let me try to see where this can go. So they don't want to be your friends. I've never had a guy that legitimately wanted to be my friend. And this was the one that I thought did. And he was like, I thought you were attractive from day one, and I like talking to you. So yes, I said friend, but I meant friend. Okay, so let me keep going. So this situation was refreshing. It was so cool because this man was like something I had not experienced. Like, he prayed with me, he prayed for me. He was like super cool. He was fine. You know, he was responsible. He was a great person. Now, what happened for us is something that I will share that I shared on a video. It's on YouTube called My Marriage Story. Yeah, My Marriage Story. I don't feel like talking about that now. So that's why I'm not going to get into it. But so we didn't work out. But what happened in the midst of me connecting with him was that desire for love and partnership and marriage that I had like from a long time ago. it awakened again. Okay. So that guy, shout out to him for doing nothing but paving the way for my husband to come in. So when he came, it would be super easy for him. So from that point, I didn't talk to anyone. I was heartbroken when it didn't work out. I was upset. And I remember crying to God. And I was like, Lord, you know what happens when we get hurt, right? We try to do whatever we can to appease the pain, to patch it up, not really to deal with it. Come on, Dante Barlow. That's my husband in the chat. He said, shout out to him. Yes, shout out to him for paving the way. God bless him and whatever he's doing and whoever he's with. We bless that man in Jesus' name. But you know how it is when you get hurt. When you get hurt, when that ego is bruised, like you just want to do something and get a fix for your ego, right? And so my ego was bruised. I was hurt. And I said to God, I don't want to do what like I've done before. You know what I'm saying? Ego bruise. It's like, just get back out there and, see what is popping in the streets. Like, no, nobody wants to do that. I don't want to end up talking to someone else to try to appease my ego. Like, I'm just going to have to deal with this hurt. I'm just going to have to deal with this pain. And I was like, Father, you said that your grace would be sufficient for me. So I need your grace. And I asked him for his grace. And I remember looking at my vision board, which is the only vision board I've ever made. I ended up looking at my vision board. It was sitting like, I think in front of me. And I looked at the vision board. And when I looked at it, I saw this illustration that I cut out of a magazine. It was these flowers, this vivid, beautiful bouquet of flowers. And on top of the flowers, there was this text, and the text said, "Love and Bloom." So I remember seeing that. And I remember the Father speaking to my heart, and he was like, "Love and bloom for you." Like, love and bloom, year one. Oh, and also on the vision board, there was like 3-year plan on there. He was like, so I saw the love and bloom. I saw 3-year plan. And the Father was like, love and bloom for you and me the first year. Love and bloom for you and other people the next year. And not people like romantically, but you learning how to love everybody unconditionally. And while I'm here, let me say this. You learning how to love people without tolerance. A lot of people will say you should be tolerant of this and you should be tolerant of that. But I feel like when you say be tolerant of something, you're taking out the love, as if that person or that situation is undeserving of love. So God really showed me like, no, I'm teaching you how to love people, period. It's not no tolerance. It's not no love them because I love you. I'm teaching you how to look at people and love them regardless of how they look, regardless of how they behave, regardless of how they treat you. I'm teaching you how to love people. So that was the second year. And then he was like, year 3 is going to be love and bloom for you. You're going to meet someone that you can marry. So I was like, okay, bet. Here we go. Let's do it. In the meantime, my heart is still hurting and I'm still broken. So I walked through that process of just being hurt. And then I was okay. I was okay because I didn't go and look for someone to fill me up. I didn't go and look for, oh, I got to talk to a man and he's got to tell me things like I'm beautiful to make me feel better. I have to go on a date to feel better. No, it was none of that. Like, I just went through this season where I was just good. And I even was going out by myself. I remember the Lord telling me you're going to have to get used to going places by yourself because everybody around you is not going to want to go and you can't let that hold you up. So I remember on a Valentine's Day one year, I got a ticket to this concert with Leon Timbo and I went to the concert by myself on a Valentine's Day. I'm in there single. Them women probably thought she in here trying to take my man. You hear me? And I was like, no, I'm not. Not at all. I just like Leon Timbo and his music and I wanted to be there and it was a dope show and I enjoyed it. But I went by myself. Then I started going to other places by myself. Then I started traveling by myself and meeting different people. And I met some amazing, amazing people and it was cool. And then fast forward to, babe, what year did we meet? 2017? Yeah. Fast forward to year 2017. there was someone that resurfaced in my life, someone that I briefly like talked to and had briefly been in the picture. They resurfaced and it was like thumbs down, like no. And then my husband popped up. He was my husband then. So Dante popped up on me, of all places, at work. And you need to share this story like one day, babe. You're going to have to do it. Because I share it from my perspective, but I need you to share it from yours.
Okay.
But anyways, he popped up on me at work and he was like, hey, haven't seen you, blah, 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 blah. I got a new job. So this is my last day at this site. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's exchange information and not phone number. 2017 was definitely a good year, babe. Let's exchange information. When I said information, I was meaning like our internal work system, like where we exchange names and we can talk to each other on instant messenger. And the reason I did that is because like in the working world, networking is very important. And this person that I'm talking to today could be someone that could help me in the future, or I could help them with an opportunity. So I was like, okay, cool. You're cool. Let's exchange information. And so we exchanged our information and started, I pinged him as soon as I got back to my desk that day because I didn't want to forget his name and stuff. And I was like, let me just ping him. So I put his name in, pinged him. I was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Keep my information. Again, congrats on the job. And man, I just hope wonderful things for you. And my husband was just like, you sounded like a modern day hippie to me, because he was like, you were just so freaking positive and happy and everything. You remember you said that, babe? Okay, so anyways, let me get back to this. And so we talked all day long on Messenger, and I was like, this guy is trying to talk to me. That's what happened in my head. By about 3 o'clock, I mean, we started talking like 8 o'clock in the morning. By 3 o'clock, I was like, he is definitely trying to talk to me. And then by 4:30, which was my time to leave, I was like, I am not giving him my number, even though I know he wants it, unless he asks. Babe, I just saw you say she wanted me. I want you now. But let's keep going. So I was like, I'm not giving him my number unless he asks for it. And so he did end up asking for my number. And I gave him my number. And then we had conversations from there. But I wonder what direction I should go with this. We had conversations from there, but it didn't really go anywhere. Like, it didn't really go anywhere. And when I first met him, like, I was reminded of the vision board and that moment that I had with God, like 2 years earlier, where God was like, nah, you won't be able to meet the person you can marry this year. You know what I'm saying? And this was the year. So I'm like, dang, we winding down. It's the final months of the year. Where is this person coming from? And this was in October when me and my husband met. Okay. So Dante and I talked for a little bit. It wasn't really anything that I was interested in. And I told him, I was like, hey, I don't think that you and I think that I didn't tell him anything negative at first. I kind of came in with the negative stuff on the back end. So I was just like, I think we would make better acquaintances. And like, if we speak, we speak. And if not, then that's fine too. And thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. You see Tron Moses in here. Tron, stop trolling. Stop trolling, Tron. But anyways, that's what I told my husband. And Dante, see, babe, this is why you need to tell the story. Like, you got to tell your parts. So Dante was like, okay, cool. And he deaded it like that. He didn't text me. He didn't call me or anything. And then one night out the blue, he just called me and we just talked for hours, probably until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay, well, it's good talking to you. I don't know why you called, but it was a nice conversation. And then we got off the phone, and then that started happening a little bit more, and then it started happening all the time, and then boom, it's like, okay, you're cool, and it might be okay, it might work. And I say all of this to tell you that I love this man, and he's incredible, he's amazing. But guess what? In the beginning, I was not attracted to him. And my husband is fine, right, babe?
Oh, thank you, babe.
My husband is fine. He's 6'5". He's a very fine man. But my husband was not my preference physically. So when I first met him, I wasn't attracted to him physically. It was not a big deal for me what he looked like. I didn't even care. Because I'm like, you're light skinned and I don't deal with light skinned men. Like, I like brown skinned guys, and that's my preference. And that's what I was looking for if I was going to end up being with anyone. So I did not like him, was not attracted to him. But what I was attracted to in the beginning was who he was. My husband left home at 18. He put himself through college with very low debt. He had paid off his college debt when we met. And when he left college, he didn't even have a lot of debt. You know, he did not have a lot of debt at all because he was in school looking for scholarships, looking for grants, and paying for things himself. So when I saw Dante and I heard his story and I heard he was raised by a single mom, and I'm like, okay, he probably has a lot more respect for women than some other people. And then I began to see who he was. I was attracted to that. And I was like, he's responsible. That was like the main thing. He's responsible. And then from there, after we got over people telling us that we look like siblings, how many times did we hear that, babe?
Way too many.
And we're like, that is nasty. Because the things that we want to do is not what siblings do naturally, okay? Not in this family. But yeah, after we got over that, then I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a fine man and he's wonderful and he's attractive. So I told you that whole long story to say that yes, looks do matter, but other things do matter more. Like, did their core values line up with your core values? Like for me, responsibility is a core value. Integrity and not lying is a core value. I need you to be honest. And I told my husband that very, very early on. So for me, that was a big issue. But I think back sometimes, like if I would have discounted my husband and not looked at him because he was not physically someone that I preferred, because he wasn't a chocolate man, then I would have missed out on so much, because we are honestly perfect for one another. And we're perfect not because we're perfect people, but we fit. We fit. We fit, and then we're committed to just being better people for ourselves and for one another. But I also thought about something too, a conversation that I had with someone years and years ago. We were talking about like dating and getting with people and all of that. And I was just saying, and this was honestly during the time where I wasn't thinking about like being with anyone. I just had a feeling that God was going to throw the little loop-de-loop out there and be like, you can take this if you want it. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So I said to them, like, I'm not settling, because I want someone to love and value and respect me the way I deserve. And I remember a guy told me, you're not going to find that. And I'm like, you a liar, because Ephesians chapter 5 says that the husband loves the wife like Christ loves the church. And I'm going to get that 2 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians 13 type of love. I'm going to get that type of love. I'm going to get that. It's not 2 Corinthians. It will be 1 Corinthians, because 2 Corinthians only has 12 chapters. Sorry about that. So 1 Corinthians 13 type of love. That's what I want, and I'm going to get it. And so I told this person, I'm like, I just trust that God knows what's best for me. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, well, I'm not going to date anybody that I'm not attracted to. And I'm like, if God knows you, then why would he give you somebody that you're not attracted to? First of all, like if he knows you, if every hair on your head is numbered, if he saw you when you were in your mother's womb before you were born, why would the Lord send you anybody that you're not attracted to? Even furthermore, let's go here. If he says that if this is in one place, it's Matthew chapter 7. I say one place because the gospels are synoptic, meaning they're parallel. The three of them are, at least. But Matthew chapter 7, he says, if you, talking about people being evil, naturally inclined to doing evil things, know how to look at your kids and give them good gifts, how much more would your heavenly Father do and give to those who ask? So it's like, if I know how to look at my kid and give them a gift that they want, then why would God look at me and be like, I'm going to give you somebody you're not physically attracted to? You know what I'm saying? Why would he do that? Why? So it's like, why not trust him? But let me wrap this all up here. Looks do matter. And yes, attraction matters. Yes, you should always present yourself in the best possible way, period. You should always do that. But there are other things that matter more. And do not allow your preference to get in the way of what you could be attracted to. Because if I would have allowed my preference to get into the way, and I would have walked into a room with 5 men and saw my light-skinned husband standing there alongside 4 chocolate brothers, then I probably would have been looking at them chocolate brothers first and discounted this man who is incredible and amazing. Like, I wish I could let y'all know how incredible he is, but I can't, because I don't want to put all of our business out there, because there are some things that deserve to be private, right? But he is amazing and incredible. But if I would have allowed my preferences to get in the way, it would have stopped me from seeing that I could be attracted to this thing that I did not prefer first. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense to y'all. So men, women, as y'all are out like doing your thing in the dating world, like, just know that other things do matter more than looks. Looks do matter. I'm attracted to my husband. He's not ugly. My husband is fine. He's the finest man I know. Ain't that right, babe? He is fine. Like, not Fine, Fwine, fine. He's fine. And I'm so glad that I did not let my preference get in the way and stop me from seeing this man that has just been amazing and incredible to me. And I hope that you don't do that either on your dating endeavors and all that good stuff. Anybody else got any questions? Like, got anything to say? Rebecca said, pray for us singles. We need some God ordained spouses around here. Babe, you want to do a prayer for people that are unmarried? Maybe sometime this week?
Yes.
Okay. Just over here thinking. Sorry, guys. I was in deep thought. Anybody else got anything to say? Any questions? Any comments? Yeah. I saw Monica put, I received this word for myself, love and bloom. Yeah, it was crazy. My only vision board I ever made, actually, like, it prophesied. And I love, okay, so I've told some people this before, but I don't tell everybody. But if you're a part of like my private group, you may have seen it. I have a planner, and in my planner, like, I pre-plan stuff, and I put down words on dates. So instead of cutting out, so say, for example, you have a vision board that you want to do, and it's a physical vision board. It's not digital. So you're cutting out little pieces of text and pictures and images from magazines, newspapers, or wherever you're getting these pictures from, and you're putting them on your vision board. Well, I do that in my planner. So my planner is like a vision board. It's like inspiration for me. I absolutely love it better than vision boards. And like, I'll put words on days, and then I'll come back. I'll put words on days before they happen, like days, months in advance. And then when I come to those days, like, that stuff will like speak to me or be relevant to something that is happening in the world. So it's super, super cool. But anyways, my vision board, the only one I ever made, actually like prophesied to me. It had love and bloom. It had 3-year plan. But it's so cool because when I was clipping that stuff out, I wasn't thinking about any of this. I just was like, oh, this picture is pretty. I like it. Oh, okay. Well, let me give myself a time frame for some of this stuff that I want to do and put it up there. Booyah. Love and bloom, 3-year plan, not even related, not in the same place. I'm not thinking about romantic love because I wasn't interested in that. And one day where I'm sitting there with my heart broken, with my heart hurting over some chocolate man. I look at this vision board and the Father speaks to my heart and he's like, Love and Bloom 3-year plan. You know, love for you and me first. You had to understand my love, right? You had to understand how I love without condition, without reason. I love without fear because God loves us knowing that many of us will not love him back. So he loves us without fear. Okay. That's the same way I love my husband. I love him without fear. Like something could happen, but I'm not allowing the fear of whatever could happen make my decision, which is a whole nother story because in the beginning, fear almost stopped us from getting married. But anyways, back to the vision board. Learning about loving God was year 1. That's what he told me. Year 2 was learning about loving other people. And believe me, this was hard because I was like, people get on my nerves. Like they get on my nerves. And God was like, to love me is to love my people. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to show me how to do this. Show me how to love people because I've had people just do some terrible things to me and think that I was the problem. And I have to take this. He's like, now you see how I feel. Oh my goodness. Okay, but anyways, and then the last year, God was like, it's going to be love and bloom for you romantically. You're going to meet the person that you can marry. And I'd be daggone if October of 2017, which was year 3 for me making that vision board, if I did not meet the person that I could marry. What almost stopped it from happening was fear. Remember, I said that when we love, we love fearlessly, right? I said that God had to show me that his love came without condition, without proof of reciprocity, meaning he would get anything in return from it. He loved me without fear, knowing that he could love me and I could still decide I don't want to love you back. And so when I met my husband, I was so scared. I was so scared of what was happening. Like, me and this person care about each other. He's saying that he wants to be this for me. I remember like there was stuff that my husband did for me before we got married. He was cleaning out a storage unit and getting rid of it. And he's like, I got a washer and dryer in there. I don't need it. He's like, yours is giving you problems. You want this? And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what if we break up? He's like, I don't want it back if we break up. And I was like, you sure? And so like, I'm nervous. I'm scared because I'm like, this is a great man. Like, and he was taking me out on dates. And then he was also saying like, no, we all need to do something with the kids. So we were going to like go-kart parks. We were going to carnivals and different things. And what I didn't notice in the beginning is that my husband would alternate weeks on weeks and what we would do. I'm sorry, I stuttered because I started laughing in my head thinking about it. But he would take me out one weekend and then the next weekend he would want to do something with me and the kids. So he like dated me and the kids and it was just like beautiful. And I was scared. I was like, this can't be real. Like this person, this can't be real. Like he can't be a real thing. And I almost self-sabotaged our relationship. And I remember at one point, Dante was like, fam, you keep taking me on this emotional roller coaster. Like, what are you doing? I love you, Ty Johnson. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to me? And then I had to say, okay, you got to act without fear. You've overcome fear. You got to be fearless in this relationship with this man and tell him the truth. And I did. I was like, I am scared. I'm scared that you're going to hurt me. I'm scared that you're going to leave. I'm scared that this is not going to work out. And I'm going to be sitting here left to pick up the pieces. And it's not just me you're going to hurt. Like, you're going to hurt my family. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm scared. And my husband was like, I'm not going to do that. And he was like, I'm almost wanting to tear up thinking about him. He's so dope. Thank you, Father. But anyways, he said, let's commit to each other to love fearlessly. And we made a decision that day to love each other fearlessly. And that's what we've done from that moment until now. And we've been married how long, babe?
3 years.
Yeah, we've been married 3 years now. And so, yeah, great place to be in. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got caught up in our story and just got so zapped out of what I was even talking about. But my whole point in coming on here today was just, Ty, I see you, was just to encourage you all. Yes, looks do matter, but there are other things that matter more. And when you're considering partnering with anyone in any type of relationship, you should go beyond the superficial stuff and think about like core values. And for me, my husband is the best choice for me. But if I would have had to go pick him based off his physical appearance, I wouldn't have chosen him because he wasn't my preference. I like dark skinned men. I like brown skinned men. And my husband is not brown, he's light skinned. So if you would have put him next to 5 people and said, choose one, I likely would not have chosen him just because he wasn't my preference. And it wasn't that he was ugly, because my husband is foin. He is 6'5". He got that ball player look. Like, he looks amazing. Matter of fact, when we get off of here, but anyways, my husband's fine. That's all you need to know. He's fine. So I'm not telling you that you won't like be attracted to the person that you're dealing with. What I'm telling you is don't let your preference stop you from seeing what you could be attracted to. That's a word. Don't let your preference stop you from seeing what you could be attracted to. Because had I allowed my preference to get in the way, I wouldn't have seen all of the value in my husband, and I wouldn't appreciate everything about him today. That was the first part of my message. And then through there, I just told you all my love story and how it happened. And then I ended up getting on how I had to tell my husband that I was afraid. And when I told him I was afraid, he made the choice to love me through that. And what you have to understand with love is that it's a risk. But love doesn't happen because of fear. I told you all that. When God loves us, he loves us without fear. He loves us without proof of reciprocity. We don't have to love him back. And that's the same thing you're doing when you're putting yourself out there for a relationship. I put myself out there for my husband. Like, I'm afraid that you are going to hurt me, that you are going to leave, and that I'm going to be left here picking up the pieces. And this is going to be painful, and it's not going to work out. And I don't want to deal with that. I'm afraid. My husband could have made the choice at that point to say, you got too much going on. I don't want to deal with all of this, but he didn't. He made the choice to choose me and to stay. And that's the same thing that you have to do with your relationships with others. Okay. You have to be honest and give them the choice to choose you. You have to be honest and give them the choice to choose you, because that's what love is. Love is a choice. When we're younger, we just think that love is a feeling. And an expression of love is a feeling, right? But it's also a choice. It's a choice to be committed. It's a choice to accept the good days with the bad days. It's a choice, okay? I'm out of here, y'all. Angel Williams, thank you for celebrating our union. My husband is like, this is amazing, and can't believe that we're doing this. But thanks for celebrating our union and all of that. Whew, I'm out of here. I love you guys. So I'm Lola with The Smoking Prophet. The Smoking Prophet is a life advice brand designed to resource you spiritually, creatively, and socially. Our goal is to give you what it takes others years to get. We do that through a blog, thesmokingprophet.com. Go over there and check it out for tons of goodness and glory. And also the Smoking Prophet podcast, which is available anywhere you listen to podcasts. We have 100 plus episodes on the podcast. If you want more love talks, then let me know in the comments. Also, our latest podcast episode 115, do guys who love you ignore you, is out now on podcasts. I also have a video on YouTube about how I got married fast with 3 children. And we're going to have some more love stuff coming. Prayerfully, we're going to be pulling some other people on to just talk about like the real for real stuff and like what we don't share. Like, how many people have you heard say, I was scared. I almost sabotaged a great relationship because I was scared. I was scared. And it's the truth. It took a lot of courage for me to tell my husband that day. And even courage to get on here and tell y'all like that I was scared. I was scared. We love you too, Shamil. My husband is on a phone call, so he is behind closed doors and can't hear us and can't hear me talking. So he's taking a phone call and all of that good stuff. But yeah, until next time, I hope you all have the most amazing life. Bye!